What's going on, guys, and welcome to the video. So today we'll be talking about the Saber plugin. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, this video will get you started on your journey on using the Saber plugin in After Effects to create outstanding VFX effects in After Effects. So without much further ado, let's get started with the video. Before we start working with the plugin, we need to talk about downloading the plugin and installing. So you can head over to this website to get it, which is 100% free, and you can get it for both the Windows and the Mac OS. And it's very easy to install. You just need to follow the instructions and we are good to go. Now we are in After Effects, but before we start using the Saber plugin, we need to add it on top of another layer because the Saber plugin works with either the mask of a layer or a text layer. So for us to add in a mask, we are going to use a solid layer, and let me give this the black color and hit on OK. Then I'm going to just use the Eclipse tool and make sure that the solid layer is selected, and I'll create a mask like so. We have two ways to add in the Saber plugin. Either we go to the effects up here, then we go to Video Copilot and Saber, or we just simply go to the effects and presets, search the Saber plugin, then drag and drop it on top of our layer. Let's add in the Saber plugin on top of our mask. What we need to do is move under the effect controls, then customize core. Change this option for the core type to layer mask, and it will take in the mask of that layer. Now, after doing this, we need to first remove this black solid background. So we can go under the render settings, then make sure that composite settings is changed to transparent. Now, this will have a transparent background. So if I say, for example, I add in another solid layer and I give it a color just to demonstrate what I'm talking about. If I bring this below, you see that this now has a transparent background. And if I go back to this and then change the composite settings to black, you'll see that it has a black background. Now let's talk about customizing the Saber effect on top of our layer. To customize this is pretty easy. So for the preset, we can change this to any option that we want here. And there are so many options that you can work with. You just need to play around with these and you'll see that you have so many options that you can work with. So for this, I'm just going to go with electric, and we can also enable or disable the glow, which is preferable for you to enable these. And for the glow color, we can change this to any color that you want, like red or anything that you want. For the glow intensity, you can either increase or reduce the glow amount to any value that you want. And you can keep on playing with all of these options. There are so many options that you can play around with the Saber plugin. But what we are interested in right now is to animate this effect. And to animate this is pretty easy. We are going to go under the Customize Core menu. We'll find some properties there that we are going to use to animate this effect. So under the Customize Core menu, we are going to find other properties which we have been here before to change this to the layer mask. So if I move the playhead to the very start, then for the end offset, I set the value to 0, move about 30 frames ahead, and set the value to 100. This will animate the effect. And to make this to be more interesting, we can set the start value or the start size to 0 so that it will have a thin start line and this will be thicker. And you can also animate that value. Now let's talk about applying the Saber plugin on top of the text layer. What we need to do is first to add in the text. And for the text layer, I'm going to change this to a stroke. Next, I'll add in the solid layer, add in the Saber plugin on top of it. Under the effects controls, I'm going to go under the customize core, and for the core type, I'm going to set this to the text layer. For the text layer, I'm going to select the Saber layer, which is the text layer. Then you can go ahead and customize this however you want. So for the preset, I'm going to set this to electric. Let me show you how to use the Saber plugin to animate your logos. So I have a basic logo here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll select the logo, go under the layer tab here, then auto trace. This will create a mask. I'll open the logo layer, then select the mask and press Command C to copy that. Create a solid layer, and again, same thing, press Ctrl V to paste the mask. Now I can select the solid layer, then add in the Saber effect on top of that. Under the Customize Core, I'm going to change this to the layer mask. For the preset, I'm going to choose electric, which is preferable. And you can customize this to make sure that it fits perfectly with your taste. Next, I'm going to set in the first keyframe for the end offset. move 30 frames ahead and set in another keyframe. Back to the first keyframe, I'm going to set the value to 0. For the start size, I'll set the value to 0, set the first keyframe, move 30 frames ahead and set in the value of 100. Hope you found the video useful and interesting. To implement all what you've learned in this video and leave your feedback down in the comment section below, and I'll be there to always read your comments and reply to them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't and like the video to support the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, keep editing.